again, you find yourself in the river, you want to stay calm, okay? You don't want to freak out during the water. What you should do, stand up, walk back out. It's 3 to 4 feet deep every time. I've seen it happen past in 2.5 feet of water. I mean, creased down. It was like a Scooby and Shaggy cartoon. It was funny. Hey, you guys, bring your cameras out. There's a building I want you to see. I bet you've never seen a building this skinny before. The Bubblegum Restaurant. That's an old hospital. Look up to the rooftop. It's 200 feet tall and it's flat. Hey, look at the 1930, that was the Nix Hospital, and it was the first hospital to have its own air conditioning system. It shut down 7 years ago. It was a clinic for 90 years. Marriott bought it, $19 billion. Renovate into a hotel, I guess. I don't know. Raise your hand if you have ever stayed in a hotel that had a board in the basement for 90 years. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have either. I don't see any hands up, but, you know, every employee I met who worked in that hospital believes in ghosts, so I couldn't imagine at the hotel. Well, the Hemisphere, like I said, 7 million people, guys. We didn't have space on the Riverwalk to build the Hemisphere, so they brought the river to the fair instead, extending the river, and they brought the Hemisphere and the Riverwalk all together. I want you guys to look above the Market Street. That's what's up here on the right. You'll see the Tower of the Americas. Centerpiece to the World's Fair is our 750-foot tower. I'm sure you saw when you came into the downtown area. Hard to miss. Raise your hand if you're calling that the Space Needle. You're not the first. It's okay. We don't hold that against you. There is a steakhouse at the top of it too. It's named the Chart House, and it rotates. Inside that tower, the steakhouse, it spins all day. And it will spin faster and faster the longer you sit at the bar up there. That's what they told me, you know, that's what I heard. That's what they said. Up here in front of us, here's a new addition on the river. A sculpture of a Mayan woman. She's made with volcanic stone the artist collected in Mexico. It's called the Stargazer. Some kid told me that's a fidget spinner. I didn't argue, you know. It's all right. When you look at this mural again, you might get a different perspective now knowing the colors are all natural stone, but I'm going to explain some of the details you'll see, like the Mayan gods on the throne on the left, the indigenous natives, culture from Spain and Mexico blended in. Then on the right are Greek gods and farmers and Europeans in the 1800s. Our city was established by the Catholic Church, so Adam and Eve are holding hands over the river in the middle. And right below them, you know who that child is standing over the Alamo? That's me. It's the child of the future. It's the best way for the artist to capture our future. The Alamo established San Antonio, and the child that is still the children of our future. Like I said, all of our past blended into the future. Amazing piece of art, I think. Brilliant, brilliant design. And it's smaller than this one, and they built it. It was only built in 8 months. It was only 8 months. The bedrooms were actually built 8 miles away from here in a warehouse. With a modular design, they molded each one of these rooms individually into boxes. They built 16 units a day in a warehouse. Then they moved them, put everything inside. Now, even with this modular type of construction, they were still moving incredibly too fast. Never really been heard of to move like this for something, especially in this stature. You know, a hotel for guests to stay in. There's other things you can build in modular form, like prisons and parking garages, you know, anything you can kind of square off like that. That's how the pyramids were built. That was a few thousand years ago. But I don't know if they did that like these, because these rooms were molded in a warehouse. They added everything inside of them, plumbing in the bathroom. And the Alamo was the first mission they built. So their king from Spain stationed military Presidio soldiers here. 1718, they arrived, they helped form this establishment for their king 300 years ago. This is where our whole city started. Connected to it, the Arneson River Theater. Look around us, we got the only river theater in the U.S. Here's a stage for live performances on the river, and these are the guests to view the shows live. We'll have some performances out here this weekend. Fiesta Noche del Rio Performance is a show that takes place here for about 3 hours, and it's taken place every summer since 1956. This is the 70th year anniversary, so if you're out here tomorrow, get yourself some tickets to that show. It's pretty cool. But how many of you have seen the movie Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock? The bikini model contest scene in that movie was filmed in that theater back there. I know, it was my favorite part of the movie too. Because of the river walk. It's because of the river walk. This is my personal favorite spot to visit here on the Riverwalk to Frisco. It's a Western art museum. There's artifacts in here you can't find anywhere else in the world. The first soldiers that showed up from Spain in 1718, some of their military uniforms are in here. It's only open until 5 usually, but Thursdays it's open late, and it's free for military every Thursday. So go check it out if you have some extra time. You'll find that stuff anywhere in the world. My favorite section in there is dedicated to the Texas Revolution. So there's a big section on the Battle of the Alamo and artifacts from every battle that took place for Texas to gain its independence as a republic. Now it's going through the biggest change in its life. I thought I saw you falling asleep over there. Pay attention. No, I gotta hit the horn because we're not the only boat on the river. I don't want to use the bumpers. I don't want to do any paperwork today, you know. Look behind us about 2 blocks. You guys see that drop in the water level back there? It's a 20-foot waterfall. It's where we get rid of the weak boat captain. It's a floodgate. It controls everything I'm taking you through, guys. 1921, this river was recorded 10 feet above the street. So this slab is the street level, and 10 feet goes into the second floor. That's what people had to experience. This is what the city engineers did to fix the problem. Storm drains are built in the streets so that when it rains, the water is redirected down to the river. But you ask around what the defenders of the Alamo are, you're not going to get as many answers. We get about 35 million people coming here as visitors every year, and 3 million are recorded to go to the Alamo. So the number 1 attraction in the state is the battleground where the soldiers fight. 10% of our guests. That's a floodgate. Yeah. Less than 1% of our guests learn they can visit the soldiers who fought in the battle too when they come here by just walking down that road from the Alamo and going into that cathedral. So I bring it up and everybody I meet gets to learn this to hopefully even those numbers out. Having to give everything they had to make what we have here today possible. I think they deserve it for everyone coming here to know where to find it at least. So I hope you guys have enough time to maybe spend it there sometime while you're in San Antonio and do just that. You know, go visit a beautiful 300-year-old piece of history.